Hey guys, today I'll be replacing the ignition wire and the spark plug on this 2003 GMC Yukon. The spark plugs I'll be replacing is the NGK3168 and you need 8 of them. And the ignition wire I'll be using is the AC Delco 9748HH. The tools I'll be using is a 3/8 ratchet with a 1-inch extension and a 5/8 spark plug socket. And this is a spark plug tube plier puller. You could use any plier as well, it doesn't have to be this specific one. And the paste or the lube I'll be using is the silicone paste with the anti-seize as well for the spark plugs. Now here is the code P0300, multiple misfire detected. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the spark plugs. Alright, here are the spark plug wires and the spark plugs. This is the wires right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's 4 more on the other side. Behind the spark plug tube is the spark plug in the back right here. So what you need to do is you got to pull this off from the engine to get access to the spark plugs. Now since I'm going to be replacing the ignition wires anyways as well, I'm just going to pull this thing down and then pull this out. Just like that. There's a tight space in the back here. There you go. So what I did was use this, grab the end and pry it like that to get this, the one in the back and out. So for this side you're going to do the same thing. There's 4 spark plug ignition wire and 4 spark plug in the back that you need to remove. So I already removed it. So what you do is just pull the ignition wire tube out from here, from the ignition coil. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I already did that. So same thing, since I'm replacing the ignition wire, I just pop it off and then pull it off from the spark plug. So as you can see, the spark plugs are right here. There's 1, 2, 3 down here, and there's 1 more in the back over there. I'll be removing them. You'll be doing the same thing on the other side as well. Alright, once you remove your old spark plug, go ahead and get your new spark plug and lube it with anti-seize on the thread and then put it back in. Make sure to do this with all 8 spark plugs. Make sure to tighten this to 11 foot-pounds. So for this spark plug, the second to the last right here, so let's say the back one is 1, this one is 2, this one is 3, and this one's 4 to your left side of the engine. This second one right here to the back is very tricky because if you use the socket that I use for the spark plug, it's not long enough because it only reaches out to here, and if you use a 1-inch extension, it's going to be hitting this frame right here, or this plastic metal that metal piece right here. So what I do is I use a different spark plug socket with the swivel. I bought this at Mako Tools. You could find one something like this. I'm sure it comes with a kit, and you use this to put in the spark plug, and it'll extend a little bit out so that you could put your ratchet in here to remove it. Or else the other socket, it'll reach right here, and then you add the 1-inch extension, it'll reach right here and it won't fit right here because of this metal piece. So you can find one online, maybe I could find one online for you guys and link it for you guys to buy it. But it sticks out right here and it's perfect for this this spark plug to remove. So for the back spark plug by the firewall right here, I'm using the same setup with the 5/8 socket swivel with a 3/8 ratchet right here. And you can see there's barely any room in the back over here, so you'll need that the socket, spark plug socket with the swivel, because it gives you that extra room so that you can put your ratchet in here to remove it. So just letting you guys know, this spark plug way in the back here is a pain in the ass to do, and this is the only difficult one that you need to do in the back here. So good luck. So I just got done replacing the spark plug on the right side of the engine. It wasn't too bad removing them, and it wasn't as bad as the left side. So now it's time to put the ignition wire back in. So before I put the ignition wire back in, I'm gonna touch this part with silicone paste, the back of the spark plug, so electricity will flow better and insulation is better over here. Do that on all 8. So taking a look at this ignition wires, they're all the same length, so you can mix and match them. After that, go ahead and put your ignition wire back in. Make sure when you put it back into the ignition coils, it snaps back in. And then you're going to plug into the spark plug. Make sure it pushes back in all the way, and do that on all 8. So after erasing the code and then driving for a couple miles, the light hasn't come back. So yep, that's how you change your spark plug and ignition wires on the 2003 GMC Yukon.